Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon, student.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, let us learn with second lecture, that is the introduction to the study of homeopathy. In which lecture we previously learned that yes, whatever is the Fichte has shown that the development and growth of the child much can be done to make this symmetrical, or it is closely related to the law of assimilation. Here, the law of similia have preeminence, for the child is peculiarly under the influence of the law of action and reaction as applied to the action of the similar remedy in its development and growth. Yes, for the symmetrical development of the human being, here Finke called as it is a development of the child, the law of assimilation is very much important. That means whatever is the nutrients we eat, and through this food, whenever there is a proper absorption and assimilation of these all nutrients by the body, then there is a symmetrical growth of human being. Symmetrical growth of human being means that is a mental growth, physical growth, isn't it? The equally they are very symmetrically, or according to the age, the development of the human being must be a very symmetrical one, and it is only possible when there is a properly assimilation of the all nutrients which are required for the proper growth, mental as well as physical. If there is any deficiency or any disturbance in assimilation, then this definitely this growth or the development of the child may be hampered, isn't it? Let us take the next paragraph. The homeopathic principle is not used in another field of what might be called extreme emergency. Yes, here H. Robert introduced, let us try to understand, or it is necessary to understand the limitation of the homeopathy. And therefore, he told that the homeopathic principle is not used in another field of what might be called extreme emergency, but rather we use what they may be called a principle of palliation. Yes, in case of emergency, where the life of the patient is in a threatened, and there is no enough time for the selection of homeopathic remedy as well as the proper action of this homeopathic remedy and establishment of curative action, and therefore it is a very emergency condition, and therefore because of such life threatening situation, life threatening condition, we have to apply the another mode of treatment, that is an antipathic mode of treatment, and try to save the life of the patient, where the life of the or the vital force in the suspended condition, isn't it? And therefore uh, but rather we use what may be called a principle of palliation. Here, if you want to treat the patient, while you have to treat according to the principle of palliation, that is palliation, the temporary amelioration of the symptom or relief of the symptom. As you know, and in aphorism number 67 of the Organon, Hahnemann explain what do you mean by the suspended animation. As Hahnemann says in note of paragraph 67, yes, in aphorism number 67 and the footnote of 67, he told that only in the most urgent cases, where danger to the life and imminent death allow no time for the action of the homeopathic remedy, not ours. Yes, whenever there are the only there are the most urgent cases, that is the emergency where danger to life, which are danger to life and imminent death, that death may be imminent if there is some delay, and therefore death is very nearer, and not allow no time for the action of the homeopathic remedy, not hours, sometimes not even quarter hours, scarcely minutes. येस, म्हणजे तासांची तर गोष्ट सोडूनच द्या, काही मिनिट, काही सेकंद अगदी खूप त्याला म्हणून महत्वपूर्ण असतात, की आपल्याला त्या काळामध्ये जे काही सस्पेंडेड ॲनिमेशन झालेलं आहे बिकॉज ऑफ द लाईफ थ्रेटनिंग कंडिशन, तर आपल्याजवळ फार फार तर म्हणा अगदी मिनिट्सच उरलेले आहे. आणि त्याचे एक्झाम्पल दिलेले आहे इन सडन ॲक्सिडेंट. येस, व्हॉट हॅपन इन सडन ॲक्सिडेंट? In sudden accident occurring to previously healthy individual. Yes, the sudden accident which occurred to the previously healthy vital force. That means vital force uh, doesn't have a knowledge that such type of critical situation may be come, and therefore this previously healthy individual, for example in asphyxia or suspended animation from lightning, from suffocation, freezing, drowning, etc. Yes, listen, these are all life threatening situation. Asphyxia, suddenly there is asphyxia, or maybe by maybe the strangulation or any other condition, maybe suicidal or homicidal purpose, and where the suspended animation from lightning, सडनली जर काही लाइटनिंग वीज पडली किंवा सफोकेशन झालं कुठल्या गॅस लीकनी म्हणा किंवा अजून कुठल्या कंडिशन मध्ये म्हणा, इमर्जन्सी कंडिशन, की ज्याच्या आधी व्हायटल फोर्स हा एकदम हेल्दी कंडिशन मध्ये होता, किंवा फ्रीजिंग किंवा ड्राउनिंग एक्सेट्रा, it is admissible and even judicious. Yes, it is admissible and judicious. Why this judicious word is important? Because in, if you remember in uh, aphorism number 3, Hahnemann himself told that the palliation or the suppression of disease is not a judicious one. So you have to perform the judicious treatment with only the application of law of similia. म्हणून त्यांनी इथे काय म्हणू आपण, खास करून आठवणीने ज्युडिशियस हा शब्द वापरलेला आहे, की जरी इथे पॅलिएटिव्ह ट्रीटमेंट आहे, जरी इथे अँटीपॅथिक मोड ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट आपण अप्लाय करतो आहे, तरी हा या कंडिशन साठी हा ज्युडिशियस आहे, हा ऍडमिसिबल आहे. का बरं? इट इज ऍडमिसिबल अँड इव्हन ज्युडिशियस ऍट ऑल इव्हेंट्स ऍज अ प्रिलिमिनरी मेजर्स to stimulate the irritability and sensibility. Yes, preliminary measure means it is the first aid. You should provide the first aid to vital force to stimulate the irritability and sensibility with a palliative. Yes, it is a vital. There is not a dynamic derangement of the vital force. First, try to remember what happened in that condition. Only physical body under the influence of such physical trauma. Have you got this? सस्पेंडेड ॲनिमेशन मध्ये कुठेही डायनॅमिक डिरेंजमेंट ऑफ द व्हायटल फोर्स दिसत नाही आहे. जी कुठली कंडिशन आलेली आहे ती ऍक्सिडेंटली आलेली आहे, सडन ऍक्सिडेंटनी आलेली आहे. फॉर एक्झाम्पल ऍस्पेक्झिया म्हणा, लाइटनिंग म्हणा, किंवा सफोकेशन, फ्रीजिंग, ड्राउनिंग एक्सेट्रा. तर याच्यामध्ये कुठेही डायनॅमिक डिरेंजमेंट नाही आहे. आणि पाहिलं तर अगदी प्रिव्हियसली व्हायटल फोर्स हा कसा होता, हेल्दी कंडिशन मध्ये होता, आणि आता तो सडनली काय झालेला आहे की बॉडी, फिजिकल बॉडी अफेक्ट झालेली आहे. म्हणून आपल्याला जी आपण ट्रीटमेंट देणार आहे ही कशासाठी देणार आहे? टू स्टिम्युलेट द इरिटेबिलिटी अँड सेन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द फिजिकल लाईफ. फिजिकल बॉडीची ही जी काही इरिटेबिलिटी किंवा हे काही डिस्फंक्शन झालेले आहे फिजिकल बॉडीची, विचार म्हणजे व्हायटल फोर्स हा सस्पेंड करतोच आहे, पण व्हायटल फोर्सचं डायनॅमिक डिरेंजमेंट नाही झालं तर फिजिकल ओनली फिजिकल लाईफ इज in a traumatic condition, and therefore you have to treat with the palliative method. As for instance, gentle electric shocks with clusters of strong coffee. Yes, at an instance, gentle electric shocks. की सडन तर एखादा माणूस असा काय म्हणू आपण त्याची ज्याची सेन्सिबिलिटी आहे बॉडीची ती एकदम कमी झाली आहे. फॉर एक्झाम्पल फ्रीझिंग मध्ये म्हणा किंवा ड्राउनिंग मध्ये म्हणा, सफोकेशन मध्ये म्हणा, तर त्याला जंटली इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक देऊन आपण त्याला त्याची जी नर्वस सिस्टीम आहे ती स्टिम्युलेट करू शकतो, की ज्याने त्याचे नॉर्मल सेन्सेशन अँड फंक्शन परत एस्टॅब्लिश होऊ शकले पाहिजे, म्हणजे त्याची चेतना जागवली गेली पाहिजे. किंवा विथ क्लस्टर्स ऑफ स्ट्रॉंग कॉफी. You know the primary action of the coffee at the CNS which stimulate the central nervous system. आणि हे जे काही कॅफेन आहे कॉफीमध्ये असणारा हे सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टीमला एकदम जॉयस किंवा आपण म्हणू ज्याला त्याची त्याला एकदम इन्फ्लुएन्स करते, त्याची सेन्सिबिलिटी वाढवते आणि जॉयस फिलिंग आपल्याला येतात. तर अशा काही कंडिशन मध्ये देखील specifically Hahnemann is in strong opposition for the application of coffee, while for the palliative treatment or in that particular where the there is a sudden trauma to the physical body, and in order to stimulate the irritability and sensibility of this body, you can use the strong coffee with a stimulating odor, gradual application of heat, etc. When these stimulations is effected, the play of vital organ goes on again in the former healthy manner. Yes, की जे बॉडी मधले जे काही व्हायटल ऑर्गन्स आहेत ते सडनली एका ट्रॉमाच्या इन्फ्लुएन्स मध्ये आलेले आहे, तर अशा ह्या आपण अँटीपॅथिक मोड ऑफ ट्रीटमेंटमुळे आपण काय करू, त्याची सेन्सिबिलिटी आणि इरिटेबिलिटी ही आहे जी परत आपण रिस्टोर करू. आणि मग काय होईल की व्हायटल फोर्स तर ऑलरेडी हेल्दी होताच, नॉर्मल होताच, तर तो मग हे काही जे त्याचे इल इफेक्ट्स आहेत ते मग ते ओव्हरकम करण्यासाठी तो सक्षम आहे. मग फक्त काय करायचं आहे आपल्याला, when this stimulation is effected, the play of vital organ goes on again in its former healthy manner. For here there is no disease to be removed. इथे असा काही एखादा डिसीज नाहीये की जो आपल्याला, डिसीज मीन्स डायनॅमिक डिरेंजमेंट ऑफ द व्हायटल फोर्स, असं नाही आहे काही डायनॅमिक डिरेंजमेंट झालेलं की आपल्याला ते डायनॅमिक मेडिसिननीच रिमूव्ह करायचं आहे. हिअर देर इज नो रोल ॲट ऑल ऑफ द डायनॅमिक मेडिसिन, but merely an obstruction and suppression of the healthy vital force. That means फक्त इथे काय झालेलं आहे, एक ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन आलेलं आहे बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एक्साइटिंग कॉज. हे जे ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन आलेलं आहे लाईफ फोर्स मध्ये आणि सप्रेशन झालेलं आहे हेल्दी व्हायटल फोर्स, हे फक्त आपल्याला रिमूव्ह करायचं आहे बाय द पॅलिएटिव्ह मेथड. टू दिस कॅटेगरी बिलॉंग व्हेरियस अँटीडोट्स टू सडन पॉयझनिंग्स, अल्कलीज फॉर मिनरल ऍसिड्स, Hepar sulfuricum for metallic poisons, coffee and camphor, and ipecac for poisoning by opium, etc. Yes, sometimes such type of emergencies may occur because of the poisonous condition. Some person may consume or for the suicidal or homicidal purposes, such type of poisons are administered or consumed by the person, and therefore you have to nullify the effect of the poison, and therefore in sudden poisoning alkalis for mineral acids. You know what happened when alkalis add with or mix with mineral acid, there is only the water, and these are all resulted into the combination of alkali and acid resulted into the water and salt and water. Then sulfuricum or metallic poison. Sulfuric, this is used for the metallic poisons such as arsenic, mercury, lead. Then coffee and camphor and ipecac for poisoning by opium. This opium poisoning also very frequent, and it may be definitely the opium, you know, act at the central nervous system which benumb the nerves, and therefore in order to stimulate this irritability and sensibility of the nerves which occurred because of the opium, you can nullify the effect by the stimulation of the CNS with coffee and camphor. Such type of examples given by Dr. Hahnemann in aphorism number 63. It is a very beautiful explanation given by him where the antipathic mode of treatment is allowable, and he called it is admissible and judicious. Isn't it? Where there is no dynamic derangement of the vital force. Let us start the next paragraph. Even in emergencies, however, we may find the indications for the homeopathic remedy just as clear cut as antipathic means would be. And if we can read these indications, even here the action of the potentized remedy will be more rapid and far more gentle in its restorative powers than would be the case if stronger measures were taken. That means here H. Robert indicate that, or he told that even in emergencies also, however, we may find an indication for the homeopathic remedy. म्हणजे अशा इमर्जन्सी कंडिशन मध्ये देखील जर आपल्याला होमिओपॅथिक रेमेडीचे क्लिअर कट इंडिकेशन दिसत असतील, म्हणजे कसे जे अँटीपॅथिक मोड ऑफ ट्रीटमेंटनी अप्लाय होतात आहे असे की म्हणजे प्रिन्सिपल although the medicines are homeopathic one, that is a potentized one, while the applying principle is a antipathic one. Have you got this? म्हणजे की आपल्याला क्लिअर कट इंडिकेशन दिसतात आहे होमिओपॅथिक रेमेडीचे जस्ट ॲज क्लिअर कट ॲज अँटीपॅथिक means would be. And if we can read these indications, even here the action of the potentized remedy will be more rapid and far more gentle in its restorative powers than would be in the case if stronger measures were taken. This you can apply the homeopathic medicine also according to the principle of antipathy, where there is clear cut indication that it is whenever the homeopathic medicine in the very skillful hand. Thus, in such conditions as asphyxia, shock from injurious sources, and even from the ingestion of poisons, among many other so-called emergencies, homeopathic remedies in skillful hands have saved lives with almost miraculous speed and with the happiest results. Yes, he told that in such type of emergencies also this homeopathic remedy in skillful hands have saved lives with almost miraculous speed with happiest of results. Yes, so this homeopathic medicine may bring forth the very happiest and favorable result if these are applied very skillfully. The indicated remedy works with exceeding rapidly, and we dare not put a limitation upon its restorative power. Yes, yes, it is a limitations are ours because of the lack of knowledge or because of the skillful application. If you are not able to handle this such type of emergencies with homeopathic medicine, then better to treat your patient with palliative mode of treatment. While homeopathic remedies quite or these in such type of emergency condition, homeopathic remedies can very promptly treat the patient if these are used by very intelligently, and whenever these are applied, it is very rapidly have a power, or it can cure the patient very rapidly than that of the palliative method of treatment. It is it is well it is well to obtain this clear view of what is before us and face candidly the true place for the practice of the healing art, that we may become true physician And to stabilize still further, let us look at what Carol Dunham called the scientific reasonableness of homeopathy. Yes, again he give the example of the scientific reasonableness of homeopathy quoted by Carol Dunham. It is well to obtain this clear view of what is before us and face candidly. Candidly means straightforward. Very straightforwardly, the true place for the practice of healing art, that we may become true physician. To stabilize still further, let us look at what Carol Dunham called the scientific reasonableness of homeopathy. Yes, with the if you have a very proper knowledge and confidence, you can apply this homeopathic medicine with good effect in emergency condition also. Homeopathy has been developed through the inductive method of reasoning. Yes. Why he is so much confident regarding the effect of homeopathic medicine? Because because homeopathy has been developed through the inductive method of reasoning. Yes, homeopathy is science. It is a true science based on natural principle and developed through the inductive method of reasoning. You know this inductive method of reasoning developed by Dr. Francis Lord Bacon. And the idea behind this, if somebody want to put forth some principle or something called as a scientific one, then it should be fulfilled the inductive method of reasoning. Not only are the conclusion of the homeopathy consistent with its assumptions, but they are founded upon truth. For homeopathy as a method is drawn logically according to the strictest rule of inductive generalization from data derived from the closest observation of facts and experiments. Yes, you know the inductive method of reasoning, whenever we call something is a scientific one, then it should be a product of inductive logic. It is a logic, it is a science of reasoning. And how you are explain this method, or how you explain this principle, isn't it? And therefore homeopathy is not only at the conclusion of homeopathy consistent with its assumption. That means homeopathy is not only the assumption or supposition की असं झाल्याने असं होईल, तसं झाल्याने तसं होईल, असं कुठलंही हायपोथेटिकल किंवा इमॅजिनरी गोष्टी होमिओपॅथीमध्ये नाही आहेत. तर होमिओपॅथी काय आहे? इट इज अ कन्सिस्टंट विथ इट्स सायंटिफिक कन्क्लुजन, बट दे आर फाउंडेड अपॉन ट्रूथ. ते काही अझम्पशन नाही आहे, तर ते काय आहे? दीज आर द प्रिन्सिपल फाउंडेड अपॉन ट्रूथ. फॉर होमिओपॅथी as a method is drawn logically according to the strictest rule of inductive generalization. Yes, inductive generalization means whatever is this inductive method, you know, it is from particular to general. Then whatever is a particular person experience at his particular level, he applied this rule or principle टू जनरल वन. दॅट मीन्स पर्टिक्युलर टू जनरल. इथे जर आपण एक्झाम्पल घेतलं, समजा की होमिओपॅथी काय आहे, की जी मेथड इज ड्रॉन फ्रॉम द सायन्स ऑफ रिझनिंग. लॉजिक मीन्स सायन्स ऑफ रिझनिंग अँड इंडक्टिव्ह मेथड ऑफ लॉजिक इज have a four it is consist of four method, or the it is a method of reasoning. It is four reasonings are there, and this inductive method should fulfill all those four reasoning, and then it is called the inductive method, which is derived from particular to general, from data derived from the closest observation of the facts and experiment. For example, the inductive method, then whatever is the experience taken by Dr. Hahnemann at his particular level, then he concluded his he concluded his experience, and as that the cinchona bark, or by virtue of the creating, by virtue of the production of this malarial-like symptom in healthy individual, this cinchona bark cure malaria in sick. It is a conclusion which is derived from his experiment, isn't it? Then he generalized it. He generalized it for the drug. If cinchona has a capacity, then every drug should or must have a capacity to alter state of health. And then he started the proving of various other drug substance. Whatever is a experience taken by him at the particular level, now he applied this principle, same principle, to the whole ह्युमन होल ह्युमन बिंग, और इट इज अ जनरलायझेशन. म्हणजे एकाने एक्सपिरियन्स घेतला तर तो सर्व लोकांना तो लागू होऊ शकतो, कारण बाकी सगळे पण ह्युमन बिंग आहेत. आणि म्हणून त्यांनी काय केलेलं आहे, ते इंडक्टिव्ह जनरलायझेशन फ्रॉम डाटा डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम द क्लोजेस्ट ऑब्झर्वेशन ऑन फॅक्ट्स अँड एक्सपेरिमेंट ॲट द पर्टिक्युलर लेवल. ऑल द processes from the proving to the curative prescription are controlled by the principle of inductive reasoning. Yes, here why homeopathy is called as a product of inductive logic. The first thing is, all the processes from the proving to the curative prescription are controlled by the principle of inductive reasoning. Yes, yet that means from general, from particular to general. This generalization of the principle, each and every principle, since beginning from proving. म्हणजे जेव्हा आपण ड्रग प्रूव्हिंग करतो तेव्हा वेगवेगळ्या इंडिव्हिज्युअल वर ते प्रूव्ह करतो. You know the proving is a scientific experiment which is conducted on healthy human being of the all ages, both sexes, and different type of constitution. And whatever is the symptoms which are appeared during the process of proving of a particular drug, these are all collected together and considered as it is a generalized drug picture which is suitable for, or which can be suitable for those people who manifest the similar type of symptom in disease, isn't it? That means this proving is applied, the proving which is carried out at the level of healthy human being, now it is applied to whole sick humanity. Similarly, the selection, the proving, then the selection, or the totality of symptoms, then individualization, all this selection of remedy, selection of potency, these are all according to the, or are controlled by the principle of inductive reasoning, and therefore homeopathy is called product of inductive logic. Funk and Wagnall's dictionary defines inductive reasoning as follows. Funk and Wagnall's dictionary defines inductive reasoning as follows. The inductive method is reasoning is a scientific method that proceeds by induction. Yes, it is a definition of inductive logic. The inductive method of reasoning is the scientific method that proceeds by induction. It requires, or the constituent of this inductive logic is exact observation. Then second, correct interpretation of the observed facts with a view to understanding them in relation of each other and their causes. Third is a rational explanation. This rational explanation of the facts by referring them to their real cause or law. And fourth one is scientific construction. Scientific construction means putting the facts in such coordination that the system reach shall agree with the reality. Yes, these are the four constituent of the inductive logic. Whenever we call something is a something derived from inductive logic or something is a scientific one, then it should be consist of all these four factors. Very important, that is the exact observation. Exact observation means the exact interpretation and the realization of the facts which he observed, isn't it? And this observation, this exact observation may be verified by his own experience. Whatever is the experience taken by him, it should be very correctly and very keenly observed. Then second is the correct interpretation. Then whatever is the facts are observed, then it should be very correctly interpreted by with the help of the observation by others. म्हणजे आपण जे घेतलेला अनुभव आहे ते बाकी जे काही अवेलेबल प्रिन्सिपल आणि लॉ आहे त्याप्रमाणे त्यांच्या रिलेशन प्रमाणे ते कोरिलेट करणं याला म्हणतात करेक्ट इंटरप्रिटेशन. Third is a rational explanation. Rational means it is a scientific one. So whatever is the principle you try to find out, or whatever is the facts we try to put forth, then these facts, by referring them to their real cause or law. That means these facts, this should not be a imagination, this not should be a supposition or assumption, while these are the real truth, real facts. It is a natural principle. And scientific construction, yes, definitely the scientific construction, that means the pure experiment. And pure experiment is every time it is proved as same. जेव्हा जेव्हा आपण तो एक्सपेरिमेंट करू तेव्हा त्याचा इन्फरन्स हा सारखाच आला पाहिजे, त्याला आपण म्हणू सायंटिफिक कन्स्ट्रक्शन. हा बदलणारा नसतो. आणि म्हणून एखादी गोष्ट फॅक्ट्स म्हणून आपल्याला जेव्हा ती दाखवायची असते तेव्हा आपण त्याच्यासाठी काय करतो, एक एक्सपेरिमेंट डेव्हलप करतो की त्या एक्सपेरिमेंटच्या जो इन्फरन्स असतो तो प्रत्येक वेळी जेव्हा सेम निघत जातो तेव्हा आपण मग एका कन्क्लुजन वर पोहोचतो. पुटिंग द फॅक्ट्स इन such coordination that the system reach shall agree with the reality. So these are the four constituent, and it is a meaning given by Funk and Wagner's dictionary. Yes, let us examine the earliest step taken by Hahnemann in his development of the scientific approach towards the healing of the sick through the reasonable application of natural law. Yes, then whenever Hahnemann tried to establish this law of similia as a truth, this law of similia as a product of inductive logic, then he developed the scientific approach toward the healing of the sick through the reasonable application of natural law. And here he explained, H. Robert explained how the homeopathy is a product of inductive logic. His childhood training in logical thinking crystallized his keen mind and made him peculiarly fitted for the task he assumed. In other words, he was early trained in inductive reasoning, and he was able to scientifically construct hitherto unknown principles in the case of the sick. Yes, for the application or for the development of the homeopathy, his logical mind is only responsible, as the basis of this application or this inductive logic is lies in the whatever is a training given to Dr. Hahnemann by his parents. They taught Hahnemann to think logically, isn't it? And various other examples are there how their parents trained him to think logically. And therefore, H. Robert told you that his childhood training in logical thinking crystallized his keen mind and made him peculiarly fitted